Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay Self-Reliance is one of the foundational texts of American transcendentalism and a manifesto of individualism. It challenges readers to trust their own instincts, follow their inner voice, and resist conformity to society's expectations. Emerson argues that true greatness comes from self-trust, independence of thought, and authenticity in action. Below are the core themes. 1. Trust yourself. The central command is simple: that trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string. Each individual possesses a unique inner voice, which can be seen as intuition or genius that reveals truth. Relying on tradition, authority, or imitation suppresses originality and weakens the self. 2. The value of individuality. Society pressures individuals to conform, but real progress and creativity come from non-conformity. Every great figure in history, like Moses, Plato, or Milton, have trusted their own thoughts and refused to follow the crowd. Originality is sacred, but limitation is suicide. 3. The dangers of conformity. Conformity is portrayed as a form of self-betrayal. Society rewards agreement and punishes independence. But Emerson insists that obedience to one's own mind is the only path to integrity. Public opinion, consistency, and tradition should never outweigh personal convictions. 4. Consistency versus growth. Emerson famously declares that a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. Don't cling to old beliefs or past statements for the sake of appearing consistent. Great individuals evolve, change their minds, and contradict themselves as they grow. 5. The divine within. Emerson, a transcendentalist, emphasizes that the divine, which can be seen as God, spirit, or nature, exists within each person. To follow oneself is to follow the universal spirit within, making self-trust a spiritual act. True religion and morality arise from inner conviction, not external rules. 6. Nonconformity and greatness. Genius is simply the courage to speak one's own thought. Most people undervalue their own insights and only recognize greatness in others, yet those others also just trusted their thoughts. Emerson urges readers to honor their own originality, which may appear simple to them but profound to others. 7. Work and action. True self-reliance is not just an idea, but it must be lived through action and labor. Work that springs from one's own conviction has dignity, while work done to please others feels empty. Self-reliance produces strength, independence, and authentic achievement. 8. Society versus the individual. Society exists to preserve its institutions, often at the expense of individuality. Emerson views society as a joint stock company, where individuals trade liberty for security. The truly self-reliant person resists this bargain and maintains independence. 9. Travel and imitation. Emerson criticizes the tendency to look for wisdom abroad or in external sources. True insight does not come from traveling to Europe or imitating other cultures, but it comes from cultivating one's own perspective at home. External influences may enrich, but they should never replace self-trust. 10. Greatness requires solitude. To remain independent in thought, one must sometimes stand apart, even at the cost of misunderstanding or ridicule. Solitude fosters originality, but society breeds conformity. True greatness often isolates individuals, but this isolation is the price of authenticity. Below are some practical implications. In life, stop living for others' approval and live according to your principles. In work, create and labor from your own vision, not imitation. In thought, think independently and challenge tradition, dogma, and authority. In growth, embrace change, even if it makes you inconsistent. To conclude, Emerson's Self-Reliance is a declaration of independence for the individual soul. It insists that greatness, authenticity, and spiritual truth lie within every person waiting to be trusted and expressed. By rejecting conformity, resisting society's pressures, and following one's own genius, individuals align themselves with the universal spirit and contribute uniquely to the world.